This is Defenders Live.
You know it's Wednesday, right?
It is Wednesday.
Wednesday. Yeah. I never understood how they...
Don't get me started.
Why?
Why?
Why would the weddings?
I don't know.
Doesn't make any sense.
I don't know. I mean, it's probably some weird English crossover.
The old English thing.
Right. Yeah, you know how the S's used to look like F's.
And the whole Norse play in. And,
right.
Yeah, something about that. Sure, it's something in that realm.
God knows it was probably something from the left on too. Cancel culture's been around for eons. It's just is more prominent thanks to social media.
Yeah. Back in the day, they had to staple it to people's doors.
Or foreheads.
That's also true. Bring out your dead. Bring out your dead. Anyway, as we told you yesterday, we have with us tonight Jonathan Emord. He is an attorney, constitutional
smart
attorney.
Guy.
Very, very smart guy. He only does the federal cases.
Yes.
That is his realm. All about constitutionality. He has also written 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 books. Looks like 7 books. 7 books. There's a paperback.
A lot.
A lot.
A lot of books.
The authoritarianism, the rise of tyranny. It goes on and on. The Restore the Republic. It is amazing what he's done. Oh, he's also done a ripoff of the Dr. Seuss's.
Nice.
How Biden Stole Christmas, Hanukkah, and Kwanzaa too.
I wonder, do you have an audio version of that? Because we would love to do the audio reading for that.
If you don't have it.
I do.
See, there you go. He's already got it. We're trying to sell our services to a guy that we're trying to run into. Anyway, so there's been a lot going on, a whole lot going on, specifically around the Mar-a-Lagos and the FBI raids, which isn't a raid, but it is a raid.
No, we can't say raid.
Don't say raid. Don't call it a raid because it's not a raid, even though it's exactly
even though
the
by actual definition
it is a raid.
Yeah.
It's raiding. Anyway.
We looked it up. It's a raid.
We defined
I did
that, yes.
screenshot it too, by the way, in case Google decides to suddenly change stuff later.
Oh, good.
I have it screenshotted.
That was a suggestion of one of the listeners. So the raid on Mar-a-Lago, everything is going on. You have a whole litany of things that we've been told that you want to talk about this, and I just want to hand you the floor. Just start out, for anybody out there who has been living under a rock, what is going on, and then why?
Well, the National Archives and Records Administration, when Trump was leaving the White House, wanted him to supply them with a number of records. That's their job. They have that duty under the Presidential Records Act. And also, when it comes to classified information, there's an executive order. The president himself created the obligation for the archivists to protect classified information and to keep records. And so it is that Trump was contacted, and this is to be expected. However, on his way out of the White House, he had certain information transferred from the White House to Mar-a-Lago. Now, he didn't personally package the material, go through the material, assemble it and package it, mail it.
Yeah.
That was done by others, right? So he wasn't personally involved. All right, so he ends up going to Mar-a-Lago, and then he's kind of surprised by the fact that there is an interest in having the FBI involved. And so the FBI starts probing around, and then they identify some 15 boxes of material that they say contains information that should have been left for the National Archives and Records Administration, but was not. He very willfully, happily turns over that information, and all seems to be well. Then in June of this year, they show up again and they express an interest in getting more information and saying that he has additional information beyond that which he already supplied. During the course of the negotiations, however, suddenly we come into the present month, and without any notice to him, some 30 FBI agents yesterday descended upon Mar-a-Lago and confiscated some material, and they went through what appears to be a rather roving search through all sorts of things, even Melania's dresses. Apparently, they thought there might be some documents among her dresses or something. But
she has fabulous dresses.
Yes. And that whole thing went forward and is truly a raid. So the real question is what is the legality of the government doing this to a former president? And is it an unprecedented move? And who's behind it? So It is unprecedented. Mm-hmm. There's never been an instance where a former president has had the FBI raid his residence. And it's also a very dubious legality. In fact, I think it's very clearly an illegal act. And the reason why I say that is that all of us possess a thing called Fourth Amendment rights. Mm-hmm. And under the Fourth Amendment, the government is required to have probable cause both of a criminality, mm-hmm. or it may engage in a search or a seizure. And furthermore, under the Fourth Amendment, the items, the place to be searched and the items to be searched or seized have to be identified with particularity. Mm-hmm. And so a roving search is prohibited. In fact, the Founding Fathers had experienced general warrants, which were administrative warrants that enabled the officials to just seize anything they wanted to in search of a crime. The Founding Fathers prohibited general warrants because they wanted the government to proceed only against individuals upon a reasonable suspicion of crime. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Limit their investigations to that specific crime.
Right, yes.
And so what we have in this instance is no proof of a crime at all.
Right.
In fact, there is not a single basis, in fact, to support the notion that Donald Trump committed a crime mm-hmm. by moving documents from the White House to his residence. Some have said, well, some of these documents are classified, and that is actually a point in dispute because Kash Patel, one of the president's aides, mm-hmm. Said that he was aware of what was packed into those boxes,
right?
Boxes, mm-hmm. and that although some of the documents contain classified markings, they were in fact declassified by the president before they were packed. They were identified as declassified.
Now, before you go any further with the classified, declassified section, this is very reminiscent of something that happened roughly 4 years ago. Mm-hmm. It happened to be with a potential presidential candidate at the time, happened to be with a server and emails and confidential materials.
And something about wiping with a cloth.
And being in a bathroom, something in that range. Yeah. And nothing happened of that one.
Right.
Nothing happened when Hillary Clinton had a literal server filled to the brim of confidential materials that could or could not, we don't know. Unsecured server that was privately housed, mm-hmm. privately housed, unsecured server with anybody that can gain access. She had a whole bunch of confidential and classified information.
But Stephen.
What?
Orange Man bad.
Oh.
You forgot.
Is that what it is?
It is. Orange Man bad. Orange Man bad.
Still Orange Man bad?
Still.
He's been gone.
I know. Apparently.
Orange Man's still bad.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. Bad. Continue on, sir. I apologize for that sidetrack.
Well, on that point, yes, there's strong evidence of bias here. And, we have a specific example that is quite similar to what they're accusing Donald Trump of. Mm-hmm. And under what they're really trying to do is tie the Presidential Records Act and another act, a criminal statute, 18 USC section 2071 A and B. That criminal section makes it illegal to willfully mutilate or destroy or to in any way desecrate a document that has been filed or deposited with a government entity, agency, official, and so on. Now, the real stretch what the Democrats are doing here with this one, because in the first instance, the president's documents are not ones that were filed or deposited with a official. They are used by him for developing executive policy, and it's not something that was filed. But we do have an instance that is directly on point where 2071 was violated. And the violation of 2071, by the way, carries with it under the statute a prohibition against running for federal office or holding office.
Okay.
Now, that instance is, of course, the Speaker of the House, Nancy Pelosi, who very publicly tore apart a document that was lodged with Congress, filed with Congress, in the well of the Congress, the House of Representatives, on television during the State of the Union address by President Trump.
Yes.
Tearing that apart, ripping it 4 times, and then even tearing up the envelope that it was that contained it, and constitutes a direct violation of 2071 and should be a basis to prosecute her, put her in jail for up to 3 years, and prevent her from running for office.
And that has nothing to do with all the underhanded backroom deals that her husband does.
Right.
Yeah, we're not even talking about that. I did think that her going so far as to tear up the envelope was that was the part that made me laugh the hardest.
Yeah. But the hypocrisy here is so profound because, of course, even though that was a public violation of this section that they're talking about Trump, it was never the subject of any inquiry whatsoever by the FBI or anybody else. The FBI never raided her house to see if any shreds of this document happened to be on a garment that she wore, like dresses in her closet. I mean, none of this took place there. And in the case of Trump, it's so ridiculous because none of these documents were filed or lodged with the executive branch or with Trump. These were his own documents. They're part of the executive office of the president. And to the extent that anything arises here, there's real questions of executive privilege. The president as commander-in-chief under Article 2 has the direct authority to classify and declassify any document that he wishes to. That's an inherent power of the president.
Yep.
If you're here, see the judge here, Reinhardt. We don't know exactly what's in the warrant. We don't know what the content is. We don't know what the affidavit is that supported it. But we can surmise that it did not contain any evidence of criminality simply because from all accounts of what the information was, none of it was criminal in nature. And that is to say, none of it was a situation where the president of the United States necessarily committed a crime. In fact, to the extent that you would argue the classified information, quote unquote, was potentially criminal, you have this immediate problem if you're seeking prosecuting this matter, which is the president himself, by just articulating that it's not classified anymore, makes it not classified. So according to Kash Patel, his aide, he had already stated that the documents in issue, Patel independently reviewed, were not classified, that they were not classified. And he said the markings on them were not removed. They were in haste. They were moving the stuff. The stuff had markings on it of classification, but they had already been declassified. So the idea that there was classified information is in serious dispute, and the government apparently has no specific factual information to contradict the evidence that it is not classified. Even if were it classified, it's still not a crime because under the Presidential Records Act, it's a civil act, governs the dispensation of these things. And in addition to that, there's no evidence that Donald Trump, who was authorized as president to have top secret clearance, ever communicated this in any way that would have made it beyond his own holding.
Right.
You have a question that arises. Okay, well, it went into a different location, but the presidents of the United States carry secret information on Air Force One. They carry secret information to all sorts of locations around the world necessarily.
Yes, they have to. They have to have this information on them.
And the real question is, how did they contain it?
Okay.
Did they, but even so, when you come into this whole thing, you don't have a foundation and probable cause to proceed against the president of the United States. And yet the warrant issued. So it's an illegal warrant, in my view. And then in addition to that, you have a search that was excessive. They obviously were not looking for specific documents when they were roaming through Melania's dress collection, right?
Right.
I mean, so we don't know the full extent of the actions undertaken, but we know from Christina Bobb, who's counsel to the president, that it was excessive based on she was at Mar-a-Lago when it took place. She was not allowed to watch them in different rooms, but knew which rooms they went into. She arrived late, a little bit late, so she doesn't know the initial part of the investigation. Right. But nevertheless, there's some serious questions here. And it all looks terribly biased because you would never do this in the first instance without, a solid foundation of evidence of a crime. And they're scratching their heads trying to figure out what criminal statute will we use. So they had no idea in advance that there was a crime being committed because now they're scrambling to try to find out how they're going to categorize this as criminal.
Right.
And the information appears not to have been ideal for them because they're having difficulty. We have no statement from the Attorney General of the United States. This is an extraordinary move, unprecedented. The Attorney General had to have authorized it. And the public is keenly interested in this. This is a former president, obviously. And yet there's no statement whatsoever from the Attorney General giving any justification for these actions.
Right. So, okay, just kind of splitting off here for just a second. We're a foundation, the foundation of our country here is based on the idea that we can turn over power. And not just turn over power, but we can turn over power without having the previous presidents being arrested or tried or harassed, at least in the first couple of years, because it would, one, it looks like a hunt. It looks like a fake hunt. Two, it looks like a power struggle. So peaceful transition of power was the idea of how we've gone 200 plus years as America. Is it right? I mean, we've been able to transition power for 200 plus years peacefully.
And out of respect for that, the Justice Department has had a policy of not pursuing litigation against political figures during and leading up to a campaign. So they broke that tradition
with Trump.
Trump. And, we've got so much evidence of corruption within the FBI, within the DOJ. The bias is profound. I mean, when you have a Justice Department that is cognizant of the invalidity of the Steele dossier, having the FBI do an investigation that proved the dossier to be completely invalid, yet nonetheless using it to obtain authority from FISA courts to go after Trump, knowing that the whole Russia narrative of Trump colluding with the Russians to alter the outcome of the election was fabricated, they nonetheless proceeded with it. They proceeded with it to the extent of having an independent prosecutor and so on. So this is just part and parcel of that same type of biased, unjustified abuse of power, in this case, an abuse of prosecutorial discretion and a violation of the Fourth Amendment. And Americans are fed up with it. I mean, I think most people who are fair-minded think this is outrageous. And your point is a good one. They don't want to see their country become a third world state in which individuals are given one set of rules to apply against their enemies, but for themselves, they go off scot-free and can commit any crime they want. And that's what it's. You've got the Biden racketeering ring with his son and his brother and all the influence peddling and the enormous amounts that they've reaped from enemies of the United States. That violates very plainly the Foreign Emoluments Clause. The president was vice president of the United States, and he was receiving into his own bank accounts money that was acquired by Hunter Biden from enemies of the United States. That violates the Foreign Emoluments Clause directly, and that's an impeachable offense. That's an offense for which he can be prosecuted. Is there any investigation there? No. Is there any action based on the overt evidence of illicit drug activity and foreign influence peddling and extortion and so on that is a part of his son's legacy? Is there any investigation? Yeah, there's an investigation. Is there any action on it? No. And there's an overwhelming, I mean, when it's so overt that he's actually recorded the actions, and there's massive amounts of email chains that establish it, and there's testimony from individuals that corroborates it, and yet there's no raid on Hunter Biden's place. There's no raid on the president's place. There's no raid on anybody's place that's dealing with that. When the person is president of the United States, they are in a rather good position when it comes to law violation, because they're only removable by impeachment and then removal from office by vote of the Senate on high misdemeanors or treason.
Right. And we've always had, both Dylan and I are on the same page here, where it's like, okay, impeachment should be impeachment, and you should be kicked out after the impeachment. There shouldn't be 2 votes necessary.
Right.
If you're impeached, you're basically a dead president anyway. You need to get out of the office and move aside.
Yeah, that's the way I figured. And we got about maybe a minute left. Real quick, and you're probably not going to have an answer for this, but just for somebody as simple like me, we don't know, obviously, what their intentions were on the other side, but what could they possibly, like, looking at this whole situation, what would be the end gain out of this? Did they really think, the FBI really assumed that he was harboring illicit stuff of one nature or another? Like, I mean,
or is it just a play?
Yeah, like what is the end goal out of that, or what would it be? Could it be? I mean, I guess
it's theater that they thought would work in their favor by making Trump again look like he's a criminal, like they tried to do with the whole Russia thing. I think also they were trying to find some basis to get an indictment against him, to bring charges against him, in the hopes that would cause people to not vote for him. They're desperate.
And I got that part of it. But I mean, I'm saying, would they really cross that? I mean, again, to carry on the unprecedentedness that's going on, would they really have gone through and prosecuted him?
Oh, I think without question.
Really? Wow.
They possibly could, and we'll wait and see what they do. I mean, I think they're going to try to do it. Now, whether they do it or not is in large measure going to be affected by how extraordinary the public reaction is. If it's so negative, and if the 2022 elections are a foregone conclusion and Republicans take the House and Senate, then then it's going to reverse, because then you're going to see that Merrick Garland's head is on the chopping block before Congress.
Right.
And he's going to have to answer. And a lot of this is going to come out. You're going to see the degree of corruption and abuse of power that has been brought to bear here. And we're going to see a lot more of the horrors behind the Hunter Biden scandal and behind all of it.
I can see why this man is a.
We're going to have you back, because
we have to have we have so many things.
So much more we got to go on.
But we have to leave for today. John, thank you so much, sir.
You bet.
Go get his book, The Authoritarians. It's out on all of our places.
This is Defenders Live.
Having let him go like that.
Yeah, honestly,
smokes.
I'd have much rather had him for the rest of the hour.
I would have too. I would have too, because
oh gosh,
the guy's way too smart,
and he had quite a lot to say.
Well, and it makes sense. I mean,
no, that's the point.
It's all a valid case as far as I'm concerned.
Jiminy Cricket, that guy's smart.
I don't know how.
Show us up, why don't you?
I know, right? Come in on our show and. No, I'm kidding. Need that stuff because, like,
we need that. We need the intelligence. Even James over there. What y'all promise? To who? What did y'all promise to who to get a guest with his credentials on your show?
Those seals, those records are classified,
right?
They're sealed.
Also, like I told you, we happen to know Jenny from the block.
So there you go.
If you know, you know.
If you know, you know. And
That's
if
right.
you don't, then
we love that lady. She's amazing.
Yes.
And she gets us. She can get good guests. So, continuing on with the Trump thing, okay? Because there's other stories involved in this now.
Yeah.
Now they're adding up more and more things.
Of course they are.
Today, former President Donald Trump invoked his constitutional rights against self-incrimination. He pled the fifth.
Which one should do, I would argue.
I would do that all day long.
It's like, but hold on. Here's my thing about this. Just to pause real fast. And again, correct me if I'm missing something. They raided Mar-a-Lago.
Yes.
Looking for God knows what.
Looking for everything.
And we're not even going to, forget the fact that they violated their own,
own rules and regulations.
Searches and all. Forget all that. They walked away with nothing, basically. I mean, a couple of documents, but nothing. What has he been charged with? Has he been charged with anything? Is he being accused of anything?
No, that's what Jonathan was talking about.
Yeah, that's what I get. I wanted to make sure I didn't miss anything. So why did he need to invoke the Fifth Amendment? If he's not being charged with anything, then there's no reason for him to worry about incriminating himself because...
Well, it was during questioning at a deposition in New York from the New York Attorney General, Letitia James, who's also a Democrat.
A deposition for what?
A deposition for everything that happened in Mar-a-Lago.
See, and this is where, I may be able to argue like a lawyer, but I don't have the schooling of one. Correct me if I'm wrong.
You're asking the wrong person.
No, but just hear me out.
This next question, I already know. No.
Mar-a-Lago is in Florida.
Yep.
Why the hell are they in New York? It doesn't make sense. And
technically, at the worst case scenario, they should be in D.C.
That's what I was getting ready to say. And arguably, this stuff happened and was supposed to be centered around what happened when he was in D.C.
Yeah.
What the actual hell?
Yeah.
I don't understand. That doesn't make any sense.
I don't know either. I don't know. That's what I'm saying. I don't know why they're raiding Mar-a-Lago, but he's in New York, and then he's getting questioned by New York Attorney General Letitia James. Trump announced that he invoked the Fifth with this statement. He said, I once asked, if you're innocent, why are you taking the Fifth? Now I know the answer to that question. When your family, your company, and all the people that in your orbit have become a target of unfounded politically motivated witch hunts, supported by lawyers, prosecutors, and fake media news, you have no choice.
That's it. I mean,
I can't disagree with that statement.
When you're right, you're right.
I can't disagree with it.
I can't either.
You always plead the Fifth. Why? Because self-incrimination.
Right. Because,
even if you're innocent, self-incrimination. Why? Because they can find fault in whatever you say.
Yeah, all it takes is one, you could say a sentence and change one word in it or misspeak it by one word.
And it changes the entire meaning.
It changes everything.
Yes.
And then what?
And then you're done.
That's all she wrote there, Sally.
Daniel Goldman, who serves as a U.S. attorney, assistant U.S. Attorney General in the Southern District of the New Yorks for 10 years, suggested that Trump is relaying guilt because he has invoked the constitutionally protected right.
Really?
Yeah, he says the Fifth Amendment ensures that people are not forced to incriminate themselves.
Oh, is that what it is?
But you don't take the Fifth if you don't do anything wrong.
That's not true.
It's not true. It's not true. I would automatically plead the fifth
on everything.
On everything.
Right.
Why? Because I might accidentally say something stupid.
Yeah. And I mean, we're live on the air every night. Trust me.
Yeah, I might accidentally say something stupid.
We can say something stupid.
Stupid things come out of this mouth all the time.
All the time.
Might accidentally do that. And I don't want to do that on the stand.
No.
Under oath. Because the moment it happens under oath, unlike every other Democrat out there, I get charged.
Right. And we don't want that.
No.
Because that sucks.
Yeah. So they're trying to claim that, he's all... It's the same thing. Okay. We didn't get it with Jonathan because we didn't get there.
We didn't have time.
We didn't have time to get through everything because this is just the continuation saga, First it was his taxes. Okay? First thing was his taxes. His taxes are screwed up. He's screwing up the taxes. He hasn't paid his taxes, blah, 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 blah.
You mean he's done like every other rich businessman has done?
And kept his filing and everything else.
Like Nancy Pelosi or
right. Like everybody else. But he's not like Al Sharpton.
Oh, well.
But he's not like Al Sharpton, who literally has frauded the government and still not gone to jail.
But that's different.
How? It's like $5 million worth of money so far.
Yeah, but that's the government's way of giving back reparations.
Sure.
It is.
Sure.
To not prosecute a black guy.
Okay, so you got that, right? And then he's the worst racist known to man.
Right.
It was his taxes. And then it was he was the worst racist.
Right.
And then it was all of his businesses. Right. Okay. So you got boom, boom, boom. All
it was
that
everything.
And then it was, and this is one thing that both of us didn't like. He hired all of his family.
Yeah.
Into the office. I don't like that either.
You're an idiot. I'm sorry.
Nepotism is terrible and never in the office.
I wouldn't want to work with him even if I...
Never in the Oval Office. Nepotism is terrible. You should not do that. Okay. So you got that.
Now, now, just for clarity's sake, it would have been different if his children were already in government.
But they weren't.
Yeah, but I'm just making it clear. For me, I'm with you on it. Nepotism sucks. To just bring him in because you want to bring him in is a bad idea.
Right.
If any one of them were already in some form of government, a senator or whatever, and actually in government, and you bring them up to come, that to me would be different.
That's different because
that's different.
Yeah. But still, technically, can be considered nepotism. All
right.
Oh
yeah, no, I agree. I'm just saying,
not great. And then you have once again, it goes back to racism. After that, because they couldn't get him on anything else, so they threw back the racism card, right? Right?
Yeah, because why not?
And then it was the social media thing, right? Right?
How dare you speak on Twitter?
Right? How dare you say anything on Twitter? And it just goes down the line, one thing after another, after another, after another of all the things that he apparently has done wrong. He's an evil, terrible, horrible, no good, very bad person. And I'm not saying that he isn't. Because there are some things in his past I would say are storied.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of.
It did not great.
Well, but we all have bad stuff. Here's the thing that I'm not. Here's what I don't think, and maybe they do. I don't know, but I don't know if people realize that if, let's say, as John was able to mention a second ago, if they were able to push this, as it seems like they're attempting to do.
Right.
To push it to the degree of prosecution. Okay?
Yeah.
I believe that would be the trigger that would start a literal physical war. A civil war would break out over that. You have to understand
because
that people are so entrenched in their hatred of him and their love for him.
Yep. And then it rolled through the January 6th stuff.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. And then that's when then that's when the powers that be on the left would turn around and go, see, they've been planning this the whole time. They're trying to get us. Even though they instigated it.
Yeah, even though they were.
That's what we're headed for.
They were the ones that started it, yeah.
Guys, I as bad as this sounds, like this dude being a lawyer and trying to, that's one thing. Be your lawyer and do the defense in the courtroom like that way. Every last one of you that's a regular human being, a fan, supporter, whatever.
A regular person.
You need to sit down and shut up. And what I mean by that is don't get suckered into this. Because I'm telling you, I'm seeing this a mile
It's
away.
so easy to get suckered in.
I know it is. But what's going to end up happening is, again, you're going to get suckered into the point. You're going to get pulled in to the point that there will be a point they're going to get him. One way or another, they're going to get him. Okay? One way or another. And once that happens,
They're going to find him.
that will be the catalyst that starts everyone who is pro-Trump literally physically against everyone who is against. And it will become violence. It will be blood in the streets. It will be bad.
Is that the case? See, I didn't know. I thought the New York thing and the Mar-a-Lago thing were the same. They're not, apparently. Apparently, those are two different issues.
Okay, well,
But they're all going on at the same time against Trump.
of course they are. And that's what I'm saying. They're going to do what they can to hit him how they can to get him
Gone.
definite, at the very least, to keep him busied in a spot to where they don't think he'll be able to run in November.
He's not going to run for president anyway.
That they still think there's going to be time.
He's not going to do it.
No. You know that, and I know that, but
We both know that.
there are people who think that he will.
He's
Look
been
at what happened with Biden. Biden got dropped in 3 months before the election.
Yeah, I know. Out of nowhere.
Right. And they're going to keep Trump busy all the way up until then. And just to make sure.
Oh, yeah, by the way, it's election season.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't.
It's only midterms, but
I
it is
didn't even
election
notice
season.
I didn't notice the
Didn't
decorations.
notice the thing? Yeah, it's elections. It's midterm elections, but it's elections.
Nobody
season.
cares about
I
those.
just want you to know that going into all of this.
Yeah, this is your moment to shine, ladies and gentlemen. This
Election
is
season here.
yes. The midterms is your time to shine.
You as
It's
the
the people that you pencil in that little bitty booth when it's nothing but you and God.
That's it.
That's what determines what happens moving forward. Because just so we're clear, I want to throw this out there to you. If they can do this to a former president,
Oh, they can do it to anybody.
oh yeah, they could do far more to
Anybody.
any of you.
Anybody.
Okay, and it's because there are politicians and people in place that have put other corrupt people in places of power. And it is your job, our job, my job, all of our jobs,
Our jobs?
ours too, to do the best that we can to get the right people in there into office. Now, I understand that when you have a fresh turd and a very old turd, it's kind of hard to decide because at its core, it's still a turd.
Yeah, that's very true.
I understand that. And I understand that's frustrating. I understand it's hard. But then that's where people need to start stepping up and maybe, deciding, you know what? I don't want to see my country fall. I want to do what I can do to help it. And maybe throw your hat in the ring.
You never know.
You never know.
Right. You could find a random position that hasn't been filled by your local government at all and won't be filled. And you can just walk in and put your name in and suddenly you're that.
Like, our old friend Pete Seraphin, who's
Constable.
is he constable? Yeah, constable.
He's a constable.
I almost called him a comptroller, which I have no idea what that is.
Either.
I don't.
He's a constable.
But it's fun to say, comptroller.
Comptroller, yeah. So speaking of everything that's going on with the Justice Department, nearly 8 in 10 Americans believe that there's a two-tiered system of justice in the United States. That's according to a new poll out there by the Trafalgar Group.
Do they think that really?
Yeah, the National Issue Survey, more than 1,000 people, more than 1,000 likely 2022 general election voters conducted between July 24th and 28th. With the participation of the Convention of States Action, found that 79.3% of Americans believed that the United States has a two-tiered system of government, or a system of justice.
I would like to know what those tiers are.
With one set,
Because I would kind of lean towards that myself,
well, yeah.
but I don't think what...
Well, the tiers are average Joe and politicians. And they're...
No, I'm actually with that one.
Yep. So political insiders, so everybody that's in the political bubble, and average people. Two different fields of justice.
I completely agree.
Notably, large majorities in both parties agree with this.
I would believe so.
See, here's what the survey asked. They said, what is your opinion of the current state of the American justice system? Nearly 8 in 10 Americans, 79%, responded, quote, there are two tiers of the justice in America. One set for politicians in Washington, D.C., insiders versus one set of laws for everyday Americans. Just 11.6% responded to the answer that says there is only one system of justice that with laws that apply to all Americans equally, while 9% were unsure.
9%. We don't know.
But have you seen the
bastards.
man on the have you seen the man on the streets?
Non-committal.
No. I got it. No, it's not non-committal.
That is non-committal.
No. They literally don't know. Literally do not know.
How do you not know?
Bro.
Like, for real.
Have you not seen the man on the streets for this stuff?
No, I have.
Like, how many branches of the government do we have?
I'm just saying, though.
How many branches of the government do we have?
You're implying that there are people who are taking it way too seriously. Saying that when they say, is there a two-tier system of justice, they are actually trying to think that there is, and they just didn't pay attention. And
No. What I'm trying to imply to you is that there are some people, college educated, that are so freaking stupid that they've got no idea what our system of government is.
No, and I understand that.
And the education,
but this is an opinion as to
right. And their opinion, their opinion is I don't know,
because they think that there was something they missed
in the question
in class back in the day.
Yeah, they're like, oh no,
because there's 3 branches of government and 2 versions of justice.
No. They don't even know how many branches there are.
I bet you. Well, but I'm saying
they don't even know.
I know that, but what I'm saying is that they think that. That's what I'm talking about. When they get asked how many branches of government there are, they don't know. They ask their opinion of how many tiers of justice under the American justice system are there. No. I don't know, because they think it's the same type of question. It was something in a book in school that they weren't paying attention to.
Because they didn't care and they were just trying to get a C.
Right, because they just stupid.
Right. Because they were just trying to pass the class so they can get those GPAs to get that degree.
Right.
Yep.
That's just funny.
Fully 2/3 of Democrats, 66%, said that they believed that the United States has a 2-tier system of justice. 66% of Democrats believe that.
That's crazy, actually.
So, in this issue, we agree with at least 2/3 of Democrats.
Yeah. Yeah, but that alone, see, okay. Take that going into the election of midterms. We believe that there is 2 different forms of justice. There's the elites, which is all the people in government, versus the rest of people.
Yes.
And you're still going to walk in there, and most of these, not you specifically, but there's people who are going to walk into these booths
and vote in the people that have been there forever.
Right, and pencil whip it.
Yep, I don't know.
I recognize that name. Oh, I know that guy.
I'm going to fill the bubble in for all of the same party.
Or all the same party. Right. And because that's worked out so well. And again, I will be the first to tell you it is a hard thing to do. I don't think people with if you could make studying politicians running in your place a job, I don't think it could actually be done by one person. It would require multiple people and checking out. I get it. It's not easy. It is boring as all get out.
Oh, it's very boring, yes.
And it's hard to sometimes sift through the lies and the political speak and all of that jazz. But we have to make an effort. Because when 2/3
Why do you gotta make an effort?
2/3 of the Democrats surveyed agree with everyone on the right that, hey, there's 2 styles of this.
Yeah.
That tells you how many people in America are convinced that the country is not being ran properly.
Yeah. See, that's...
Now, the only thing that scares me out of that is you have to be a bit careful, because these are also the same type of people who are not going to be ashamed necessarily of having a politician, namely, say, Donald Trump.
Oh, what?
Or Ron DeSantis.
What?
Or anybody else for that matter.
Sure.
Somebody they don't like arrested and prosecuted on any type of a charge.
Anything they can think of.
And then literally it does put us, like we mentioned, puts us right into what becomes the Banana Republic.
Yep.
And now we're suddenly these people, like every other country, has these people put away for no apparent reason. And it all depends on who's in power. Like that's where it gets, that's the only thing about that number being so high that scares me, is what are you truly looking at it as the government can do whatever the hell they want to, and then with no trouble.
Yeah, and then we have to do whatever.
Or are they looking at it from the angle of they're convinced it's just the whole thing, all because of Trump. All Trump got away with all of this stuff, even though it's fabricated. But,
yeah,
Trump got away with all of this stuff. We need to be able to make him pay.
I mean, maybe.
Do you know what I mean? That's the part that scares me.
Sure, maybe that's what it is. But if you looked at, okay, I'm sorry, but if you actually did an A/B comparison, okay, between the business ethics of Trump while he was in the office,
right,
and the business ethics, it's Trump and his family, and the business ethics of Joe Biden and his family while in office.
Yeah.
You're going to find a stark contrast, but it's not going to be in the way that everybody thinks.
No.
You're going to find that all the corruption that you were pinpointing on Donald Trump and on the Trump family and everybody else related to the Trumps, you could easily just look to the left.
Everything you own's in a box to the left.
And you'll see the entire Biden family and all the corruption that you were trying to push.
Well, okay, hold on.
Donald Trump.
Maybe not the entire Biden family, because I don't know for sure.
But not Jill.
I was going to say, I don't think Jill's done anything.
Well, I mean...
But Hunter sure as hell has.
Hunter
and if Bo was alive, he probably would be too.
Hunter has. Hunter's uncles have. It's all the men in the family. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, no, it's almost like a reputation of sorts. It's really weird.
One of the things, even though Jill is a doctor and, she doesn't seem like she's a person that would actually do these things, she did sit around and not say anything about it.
That's true.
She never, from what we know, she didn't involve herself in that, which means she intentionally looked away.
Yeah.
Because any woman who is married to a man knows what's going on in the family business.
That's true.
Especially in today's society.
Oh, yeah.
Because if she don't know, she's gone.
No, that's true.
It's not like I could turn to my wife and just hand her $1 million and she'll be like, well, where'd this come from? And I'd say, don't worry about it. And she's just going to snuff it off. I mean,
yeah, she's going to be like, okay.
Oh, yeah, sure.
No problem.
Yeah, no, that's not how it happens.
No. This ain't the 50s no more, pal. You can't just pat her on the ass and say, go make me a sandwich.
And be done.
Crazy broad, you.
You can't do that. That's not how this works.
Nope. Doesn't work that way.
But nonetheless, so I'm going to say that Jill is complacent in that. She's compliant in it. She's somewhere involved.
Yeah.
She has to be. Why? At least in the realm of she knew it was happening and she didn't stop it.
Right. Which, as far as I'm concerned, is just as bad.
Because that's your son.
Right.
When it has to, any mom, when it has to, that son basically still lives at home.
Yeah.
He's in his 50s, still lives at home.
Basically.
You know she's involved in everything that he does.
Oh, yeah. Mom's got that down. She's aware of her little boy. Especially when you've already lost a child. And I'm not trying to pick on it from that angle.
But it's true.
But once you lose a child, you kind of latch on to the other ones that you have left.
And you're like, you stay. You stay.
Yeah, let me protect you. Let me do, exactly.
So no, I every of the Bidens in the box to the left.
Yeah.
Including extended family.
Mm-hmm.
Because they've all used the Biden name for political and public gain.
Yep.
And that's not what you need to be doing. That's against the rules, technically.
Yeah. I've always been bothered by the whole. I mean, and looking back, I understand why, and I agree with the why not. There's sometimes it sucks, but like I've always been bothered to a degree by the whole. People are doing things violating law, but because of their connection with a politician or something of that nature, you just kind of go,
Yeah, we'll just let it
and
be.
yeah, look, it's a last slide, and
That's fine.
we're not going to prosecute. And what really triggered it for me was the whole Hillary Clinton thing with the server. That was the big one for me, and I was like, wait a second, had that been anybody else,
Anyone.
and I do mean anybody else,
Anybody but Hillary Clinton.
right? It would have been over. It would have been done. You'd be locked away, key thrown away, the whole nine.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just like, no, I don't. But again, I understand.
Right.
I understand the aesthetics of it.
Mm-hmm.
I just try to figure out, like, how do these people, if we're not going, and I'm always trying to find, answers to solve problems and whatnot.
Yeah.
But if we're not going to prosecute these people for committing a crime or for doing something illegal,
Right.
or definitely, like, again, going back to the server with Hillary, what do you do then? Do you know what I mean? Like, what do you do? How do you punish said person without jail time? You know what I mean? What do you do to them to cause it a deterrent? That's what I'm looking at. How do you do something to cause a deterrent so they don't, them or anybody else doesn't pursue that kind of...
You and your entire family are no longer able to do anything in politic related.
Yeah, but if they've already made money, who cares? They just jump into lobbyists and they can all funnel everything through a foundation.
Anything politic related. That includes
like the Clintons, though, they can have a foundation that somebody else can do.
I know. What I'm saying is you and your family cannot be related to anything political ever again.
And again, I understand that.
For
but
3
we all
generations.
know that that's not, like, how do you back that? How do you make
You
that?
can't. You
right.
can't.
And that's my point.
Yep. And very quickly, on the last note, you called it.
Did I?
You called it inadvertently yesterday.
I'm pretty sure I did.
Fans already knew about the TV show reboot of A League of Their Own. And yes, it exists like you thought. It's going to be the queer culture League of Their Own, modern gender theory, everything else. But guess what?
Why?
It got panned.
No.
Yep.
Who doesn't want to see a bunch of lesbians play football or baseball?
Right. Apparently it got panned because it came off as preachy.
See, here's the
Preachy.
thing.
Too preachy on the queer culture. Too preachy on the line.
I've thrown myself out here in this and kind of pitched this little idea to everybody. Mm-hmm. I'm going to go on a limb. If in A League of Their Own, could there have been a lesbian relationship or two in the real life of the situation?
I mean, Roseanne was there.
No, I'm not talking about the actors. I'm talking about the real lives of the...
Yes.
Sure. But that was not the point of the movie. The point of the movie was this group of women who were able to, against normal culture, in and of itself, become popular just for doing what they did, not for who they slept with.
Yeah. Side note for everybody out there, go to our website, doaeshow.com. That's doaeshow.com. If you search really hard, you might find something new.
You might.
It's
Not just, no.
You might find something new.
I'm just saying.
And for everybody else on there, we have another hour right behind this, but it's only for Defenders. You have to become a Defender if you want to do that. It's $5 a month or $50 a year. You get an additional shirt for free when you sign up.
Shirt?
Yeah, you get an additional shirt for free when you sign up.
An additional shirt.
Yeah.
2.
Yeah.
This is the collision of common sense and comedy. This is Defenders Live.
Oh, so many things coming, dude.
Oh, for all you Defenders out there,
So excited.
we are very excited. We
Big
have
plans.
So
We will tell. No, not now.
Oh, hold on. We already told them it was coming, right?
Yeah, well, it's coming, and that's all they need. No.
It's-
I want to be. I want to drop it.
But it's there.
No, but
And it's there. And look, I can just do this, right? And I come down here, I can just copy this and send it to you, and you can put that on the link tree, and it'll on the link tree.
remind me when we're done. We're gonna have that done. I mean, if you want to. I mean, if you.
Yeah,
no,
no,
I don't mean that. I mean, if you want to say something now.
Okay, all right. So,
But all of you have to promise to
you
be
can't
quiet.
tell anybody else about it. Shh. All you Defenders out there.
Holy smokes, we got changes coming.
Oh yeah. So
No, like big.
the first change is what we're going to talk about. Okay. All right. First change is what we're talking about, and that's this.
I don't want to tell now because then most of the same people are going to hear and they're not going to keep their mouth shut.
Just this one, because technically I did hint it.
I know. All right, go ahead.
Okay. So here's the deal. As of today,
Like this afternoon, like
Yeah.
3 o'clock
ish,
ish.
on our website, there is a listen now button.
There is.
It is ours. It is our stream. It is our stuff. Right now, it is literally like a repeat.
It's a loop.
It's a loop of our past eight shows,
Something
minus
like that.
today, without today's in there. And it will go live when we go live.
Mm-hmm.
We've already tested it. That was today. Today was the test. It worked perfect.
Like a champ.
I was very happy. So, great news is that we are stepping into the realm of having our own stuff again, and we now have stream capability. You can now listen to us technically on the radio. You don't have to use a player. You don't have to wait for the podcast. You can listen to us directly. It's right there. You just go to our website. Right underneath the Listen Now button, there's a play.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't do this side,
No.
but it does our first hour.
Yes.
Okay. So it does our first hour. And if you happen to not catch a couple days, you'll catch up if you just listen on repeat.
Yeah. It'll work that way for sure.
It'll work okay.
Yeah.
it's there.
And this is just the beginning.
Right. This is just the beginning.
Because first year, a lot of things are going to change.
We have so many things down the line.
Yeah, that's going to come to. Let's just say it's.
No, that's it. It's a lot coming.
You know, that's for sure. I know it's good to excel.
Yes. Very good to
move
excel.
on.
To move forward.
I'm just saying.
Uh-huh.
It's only taken 5 years, but here we are. I can't argue with it beyond that.
Right.
So there you go.
Yeah. Now, we do have some other stories, but before we get there, how about this one?
How about this one? Tesla and SpaceX CEO Elon Musk floated the idea of starting his own social media platform on Wednesday if he ends up no longer purchasing Twitter, which I thought he wasn't going to. I thought that was decided.
Well, now once again, he's now almost in court battling them now.
See, that's that whole
because
thing
he
is
technically
stupid.
he made a public claim that he was going to buy it.
And? Like, that doesn't make sense.
And I think he signed a document saying that he was going to buy it.
But that doesn't... Okay.
But then he did investigations afterwards.
Okay. Whatever.
Yep.
I can't. That's just so stupid. All right. Musk, who's formerly made a proposal to buy the social media company for $44 billion, argues that Twitter disclosed numbers of false or spam accounts as inaccurate, possibly numbering them less than 33% rather than the Twitter's reported 5%. The multi-billionaire is therefore locked in a legal battle with a company trying to force the completion of the deal. And again, it's funny because they raised ever holy hell when he was trying to buy it. Yes. And then he goes, no, screw you, I don't want it. And now they're like, oh, no, come back. We're going to make you buy it.
Yeah.
It's just buy the damn thing.
Or don't.
No. Buy the damn thing.
And then tank it.
Clean it out.
And tank it.
Right. If you're going to start your own thing anyway.
Clean it out and then replace it with your own thing.
Right. That's the way I would do it.
But then again, it might be less expensive to have to.
Whatever.
These people are just wanting a big paycheck. They don't care.
Yeah, people in hell want ice water too. And,
Well, these people are used to getting what they like. What they want.
I don't care. In exchange on Twitter about his recent sale of $6.9 billion in Tesla stock, Musk explained that he was avoiding the quote-unquote emergency sale of shares in a hopeful, unlikely event Twitter forces the deal to close, which they would do. When asked whether he would start his own social media platform if the deal is terminated, Musk simply replied with the link x.com.
All right, now I've got to look it up.
Musk co-founded X.com as an online bank in 1999, then merged with Confinity on the following year to become PayPal. In 2017, Musk purchased the domain name from PayPal while citing sentimental value, according to Business Insider. The site currently shows nothing more than a small black X in the corner of the page.
That is correct. It's exactly what it shows.
It's funny when you look at it.
It really is. It's also not secured.
No, but it's still funny.
It's really funny.
I don't know why I think it's so funny.
X.com.
But it's funny.
There's an X.
There's an X. It's funny.
Kind of makes me want to look at this up now, too.
What? Oh, Z? Just to see if there's...
Oh, there's actually a Z.com.
Japan's #1 internet group.
What?
Yeah. You can buy domain names and stuff from...
In Japan?
Right. Because who doesn't want to buy stuff from Japan?
I kind of want to now.
Because why not, right?
Japan's #1 internet group. I kind of want to. Anyway.
The outlet noted that Musk referenced X.com as a recent shareholder meeting in Tesla. Quote, I do sort of have a grander vision for what I thought X Corporation could have been back in the day. It's a pretty grand vision, and of course, that could be started from scratch, but I think Twitter would accelerate that by about 3 to 5 years.
Okay, so basically he was going to turn Twitter into XCOM.
Basically. That's the way I figured anyway. Musk, the richest man in the world, has said that he does not, quote, care about the economics, end quote, of the potential Twitter acquisition at all, repeatedly citing the need to address the lack of free expression on the platform.
Okay.
Quote, it's important to the function of democracy. It's important to the function of the United States as a free country and many other countries, and to help freedom in the world more badly than in the U.S. Civilization risk is decreased the more we can increase the trust of Twitter as a public platform. And so I do think it will be somewhat painful, end quote.
Basically, if I buy this, I'm going to clean house.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's going to clean house.
In your face.
Yeah. So speaking of cleaning house with the Twitters, former Twitter employee was convicted on Tuesday of 6 criminal counts, including acting as an agent for Saudi Arabia and trying to disguise a payment from an official tied to Saudi Arabia's royal family.
You don't say. Oh, my goodness.
Ahmad Aboumo.
I'm sorry?
Ahmad Aboumo.
Aboumo?
Aboumo. Yeah.
Ahmad Aboumo.
Ahmad Aboumo. That's right. A U.S. resident born in Egypt faces 10 to 20 years in prison.
Dear God.
When he's sentenced. He worked at Twitter as a media partnership manager and helped, quote, prominent figures in the Middle East and North Africa promote their accounts. Basically, he's the reason why all of the radicals, Saudis, and everything else were able to get on Twitter and never get banned.
Ah, he was running cover for him.
Yeah, he was running cover for all the Saudi militants.
Good for him. I mean, everybody has to have a
And
niche.
Middle Eastern, all the Middle Eastern militants, he was their guy.
Yeah, everybody's got to have a niche type
Yeah, I
position.
mean, he had a good market.
And he's got one. Good,
Yeah,
good for him.
Well, I mean, not anymore.
Oh, well.
Yeah, the verdict comes as relationships between the United States and Saudi Arabia remains fraught. President Biden made his first visit.
Fraught is a good word to put it, I would say.
That's just pretty close. As president to the kingdom last month, exchanging a fist bump with the Saudi crown prince.
I remember that.
Mohammed bin Salman.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Good old Salmon.
Yep. Prosecutor said Badr al-Askar.
I'm not touching that one. Go ahead.
A close advisor to the Saudi Arabia crown prince, the Mohammed bin Salman, used Abao to access Twitter accounts and dig up personal information about the Saudi. I know it's their names. I know it is. But I can't help it. Sorry.
It's really hard to... Right. Anyway.
Yeah. They were using it to pull up personal information about Saudi dissidents.
Yeah.
That's not good.
Nope.
Not good at all. The prosecution presented evidence that Albalmo, I keep on doing it wrong because Abu Ammo, it's Abu Ammo.
Okay.
That's where I'm going with it because that's how it's spelled. Abu Ammo.
Sure.
The prosecution presented evidence that Abu Ammo received at least $300,000 and a $20,000 luxury watch from Al-Askar and hid the money by depositing it in a relative's account.
I want to pause for a moment. Let's just I understand that there are material things out there in the world that are rather
they're nice,
extravagant.
Yes.
And the cost of it is insane.
Yes.
I understand that. If somebody gave you a $20,000, forget the reason why. We're not discussing, we're not the ethics or anything like that. We're not talking, just the fact. Somebody hands you a present, happy birthday, Merry Christmas, Kwanzaa, whatever. Here's a $20,000 watch. What would you do with it? Would you ever wear it?
I'd go get the money for it.
But that's what I'm saying. Like
I'd go return it and get the 20 grand.
I would
go buy a
never wear
cheapo watch, and I'd use the 20 grand.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like I would never wear it anywhere.
No, because you're afraid it would get taken, destroyed, damaged.
Right. Because I'm kind of a klutz.
It's not just that. Like
no, I'm saying like I've damaged so many watches.
Have you ever?
I've got one right now where the pin inside's broken. Like
yeah, I know. But have you ever had a situation to where you would need a luxury watch? And here's what I mean. Oh,
you mean going to someplace highfalutin in a tux kind of thing?
Highfalutin tux.
You mean going like to the Met
black
or something
tie,
like that? Yeah.
You know, a full-on actual black tie event.
Can you imagine me in a black tie event?
Yes. In a bow tie.
I was watching
because yes.
The Joy, I'm telling you, I love Tubi. And they have the old Jack Benny TV shows. And this is obviously, you know, it's the 40s. And Jack Benny comes in, and one of the things he's wearing the old tuxes from back then, you know, the vest, the bow tie,
tails,
bruh,
tails.
Can you imagine us, you and me, rolling into any event wearing black tie with tails, cane, and top hat?
Yes, it could.
And let me pop that sucker off and fold the hat up and carry it underneath, looking like I do. Oh, dude.
Oh, yes, sir.
I would. Every eye would be on me.
We would be stunners.
I'm thinking more of no. Sadly, we think that. I think the reality of it would be more like Dumb and Dumber when they showed up wearing the pink and orange tuxes.
That's the thing. I can't do a hat. I like hats.
I think you could, but remember, it's only temporary. It's just to get to the door. once you get past the door, you pop the sucker and you either carry it or you hand it off to somebody.
Yeah, I know.
The coat check.
I just hate
It's
hats.
part of the ensemble.
I know, but I don't know what it is. I think it's my head. It's a weird shape, but it doesn't look good on my head.
Yeah, you think it doesn't look good on your head.
I've had one picture of a good hat, and that hat got destroyed.
Is it Trilby?
No, no, and that hat got destroyed by one of my cats, and I still want to kill him for it because it was the one hat that actually looked good on me, and I hate that it's gone.
I think any of them will look fine. It just depends on the hat and the situation and everything else. But I would love to one time before we die. I want us to get to the nines. We're talking like Cora frames, the shiny shoes. I want tux. I want everything, and just go somewhere.
Yeah,
Even if we're crashing a party.
yeah, we're gonna have to even get the.
But I want everybody else to be doing it too. I don't just want to be the only two jackasses standing there.
Oh no! We have to be the only two jackets.
No, I've done that before. Did I tell you that's what I did when we went to the first time I ever went to a play, an actual play,
like an actual Broadway sort of thing.
It wasn't Broadway. It was over at the Raleigh. The Raleigh play, but it was still it was a legit
big theater
thing. We went to go see Phantom of the Opera. Me and a bunch of friends from college.
That's the way, man.
Oh, I know. Except for we're all dressed up looking like we're going to prom, and I had long hair like I have now, except for the sides weren't shaved, so it was all of it.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm. I didn't have a beard. I mean, I had.
You
I had facial hair. I had a goatee, but I didn't have a beard.
You had the goofy face.
I did. And, well, this was also back before Bluetooth. I mean, Bluetooths were there, but they weren't really popular yet. Mm-hmm. So the earpieces were all still on a cord. Mm-hmm. So because I was in a full, sharp suit, wasn't quite tuxedo, but it was close. Ponytail, shades, earpiece in the ear, I started walking around the lobby.
Looking like security.
Pointing at random people, talking into my wrist.
Yeah.
And scaring ever holy hell out of all kinds of folks.
See, that's the best.
And that was fun. I did that. It was fun. I'm talking about now, I want to go into a place, kind of like dare I say, like a Pretty Woman kind of thing. You and I show up. No one knows who the hell we are. Me looking like I do. There's no reason on God's green earth why I should be around any of these folks. I just stroll in and just have conversations with people. I would love to do that one day.
It'd be amazing.
It'd be fun.
We should really do that.
I want to.
Have the pleated shirt.
Yeah.
Like the full pleats.
Yeah. Vest and all. Have the gloves. Yeah.
The gloves.
Bro, I'm talking all of it.
Are we doing white glove?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can so do this. So we're talking tuxedo mask.
Yeah. Yes.
Straight up tuxedo
mask. Minus the cape. I don't know if I could do the cape.
Well, yeah, but at least the tails.
Oh yeah, no, the tails. Maybe at least
the cape is whatever. It's the tails that make it.
Either be the classic tail or long coat altogether like that. But yeah, yeah.
See, I can do that.
I'm down for that, bro.
I can do it all
the
day
reals.
Yes,
because that would be so much fun. And like I said, and you just pop in and just mingle. Mm-hmm. I could do that all day long and have everybody question, who the hell is that?
Who's that guy?
It's like, don't you wish you knew?
See, that's the benefit of being a social chameleon. I could literally walk into any of those situations and I could strike up a conversation if I wanted to.
Oh, I know. Of course, at a distance, people swear you're Tom Cruise.
That's right. That's why I can do that. Oh my God, Tom Cruise. I'll make sure to not wear my glasses. I would have my contacts in.
I'm telling you.
And we would do the thing.
We crash the Met. I don't know how we can do that, but I want to.
Oh, we can do
or something big, highfalutin.
Okay, let me give me 6 months of working out.
Oh, I know. This has got to go away before.
Give me 6 months of working out so I could actually be a stunt double for Tom Cruise again.
Yeah, I need to get rid of this before we even think about going anywhere.
Well, yeah,
I need to lose this junk anyway, but still.
Well, yes.
Thanks.
Speaking of which, you want to go to the gym tomorrow? We got nothing else to do.
Sure.
Let's go to the gym tomorrow.
Fuck it, I don't care. I need to start doing something.
Do something.
I've been drinking. I've been eating decently. Mm-hmm. I've been, I haven't crossed the line of completely cutting out all sugar.
Yeah.
Or doing anything like that. I still have a little bit, but it's like a little bit.
Yeah.
Drinking virtually nothing but water.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I still feel like I haven't lost or slimmed or anything.
That's
and it's irritating me.
That's because you're not eating enough.
Well,
I'm telling you, you're not
between
eating enough.
Not eating enough and
the stuff that you're eating is the high fat, high nasty.
It needs to be better off than what I'm doing.
That's
sure. I got that, but I'm just saying.
Yeah. Here's one that's going to burn you. A 4-year-old biological girl decided to announce at 4.
Mm-hmm.
With cannons and everything.
Hold on. Stop right there. Where the hell does a 4-year-old get cannons?
Oh, there was an adult next to her.
So
Hold on. I haven't finished it.
no, but I'm still stuck on the fact that so it's okay for a 4-year-old to be around someone with a cannon.
Well, it's one of those little confetti.
Don't give a shit.
It's a
It's a cannon.
confetti cannon.
It's a cannon. It could still hurt the girl, if not kill her. Okay?
4-year-old.
4-year-old. Mm-hmm. She could be around a cannon at a pride parade, and that's cool. But God forbid that a responsible adult parent have a firearm in their house, even inside a safe. And people raise ever holy hell about that stuff.
Sure. Yeah, so the 4-year-old biological girl announced that they were a boy at a pride
You
parade.
mean she announced that she was a boy?
She announced, a 4-year-old girl announced that she was a boy at a pride parade in Canada recently as a cannon blasted blue confetti into the air. Like they didn't plan that at all.
Well, and not just that, but
See, there's the picture.
what does a 4-year-old know?
They don't. They don't. They don't know. They have no idea. The New York Post, citing Southwest News Services, reported that Charlie Danger Lloyd.
Oh my God, this kid can now literally walk around and go, yes, my middle name is Danger.
Yes. That's not in. Look, guys. Look.
That's fantastic.
Danger was not in quotes.
Danger is my middle name.
Somebody really planned this out for their kid.
That is, I mean, okay, as much as I loathe this parent, this mother and father and the whole situation,
Great job on the middle name.
I couldn't ask for a better, like, that's fantastic.
That's a wonderful play on the middle name.
No,
I'll give you that much.
But
yeah.
if this individual wastes it, okay? Now, I'm not saying comes to the senses and goes, I'm not really a boy, I'm a girl.
Sure,
and it goes
whatever.
back the way it was
That doesn't
intended.
matter.
Everything else.
No.
Like, I'm not talking that. I'm talking about if this is the path that this individual, this child stays on the rest of his life.
You better live up to the name Danger.
You better be hitting on every girl everywhere at every moment and leading with that. Do you know my middle name is Danger? I'm telling you, if you don't, you wasted it and you're a douche.
Hey there, hot pants. I'm Charlie.
Danger is my middle name.
But Danger's my middle name. And then pull out your license.
Right.
See. And then watch it come. Ah!
Yeah,
No,
I'm
that
saying.
doesn't actually happen that way, but still.
No, but that's how it needs to be.
Yeah. Video from the Vancouver Pride Parade shows that Charlie, dressed as in a transgender flag, cape, along with Grammy, who's wearing a rainbow pride flag cape, in the middle of the street, firing a blue confetti-filled cannon. Once they closed the road, Charlie strutted out with Grammy, and they faced the sidelines. And after a short struggle, the cannon exploded with blue smoke and biodegradable confetti.
Oh, thank God they were good for the environment.
Yeah, that was from Charlie's mom, 27-year-old Elena Burrell. Wait, different last names? Okay, well, she must not be married or whatever, or she divorced.
Or maybe Grammy's got control over it because Grammy's being supportive.
Maybe, I don't know. No, ran into mom's arms afterwards, so it's fine. See?
Oh,
God.
Is she topless?
I don't know. I hope not.
Oh,
dear Lord.
Dear God.
Dear Lord. We can't tell if she's topless or not
I think it's for the best.
because the kid is hiding it. Thank God, Charlie.
Thank God for small miracles.
Good job, Charlie.
No.
You hid the lumps.
Ugly lady lumps. Check it out.
Oh.
I will say, if that is the mom,
I can understand.
I can understand the decision to change.
But once again, if your name is Danger, you better live up to it. That's all I'm saying. You know, take it as a line.
You need to
Live up to
otherwise
Danger.
You're wasting it.
That's right.
dogs in town. I'm here to stop the lie that gals done spread around. She said I ain't nothing but a hound dog, just snooping round the door. No, nothing but a hound dog, just snooping round the door. You used up all my love, now you don't want me no more. I was nothing but a hound dog, walking in the rain. No, nothing but a hound dog, just walking in the rain. You called out, Daddy, come and ease my awful pain. You said, Mr. Hound Dog, I want to speak to you. Please hurry, Mr. Hound Dog, I want to speak to you. I ain't had no loving, and it's got me feeling blue. I ain't nothing but a hound dog, I'm a mighty, mighty man. Ain't nothing but a hound dog, but I'm a mighty, mighty man. If you want my time, lay the cash down in my hand.
This is Defenders Live.
Danger!
That's just incredible to me. Again, it's going to be a huge waste if they don't
Oh, yeah.
optimize.
Yeah.
Because
It will be.
like that's every.
You got to opt. Look. I know you're only 4, Charlie. But just understand, however you take it, whether male or female, however you decide you want to look.
Which I would hopefully you wait until you're older, but clearly you're not. So
Whatever.
Cheers.
But at the same point in time, Charlie, whose parents are abusing you,
Yeah.
Charlie, understand this. Live up to your name.
Right.
Live up to your name.
Don't be a couch potato.
Right. Stop being. Don't look like your mom.
Well, that's already in works.
No,
You know, you make a decision to be a guy instead of a girl now. You don't have to worry about that.
it's true. Yeah, but I'm just saying. Work out. Get the buffs.
something.
Beast out.
Do something.
Even if it means putting detrimental stress and strain on your bones so you don't grow as tall. That's okay. Mm-hmm. You can be a 5'2"
Or,
danger.
Poisoning your body with chemicals and hormone blockers and things like that.
That's okay. You can still be a 5'2" danger.
Psh,
Danger.
danger.
You can do it.
I think.
I believe in you.
I can. I think it'd be great.
Right.
It's just the stories.
But understand, your parents and your grandparents are poisoning you.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry that they're doing that, and
Or
I believe it's child
child.
abuse. But then again, that's in Canada, so I can't say much.
Yeah. You poor child.
Poor child being abused.
I feel bad. Mm-hmm. But hey,
Yeah.
it is what it is.
So the IRS is about to go and hire, 87,000 people,
Yeah, they are.
Mm-hmm.
It's
and many of those tax collectors are now going to be packing some heat
yeah.
when
That's
they hunt for the monies.
Yeah, I actually saw a thing about that, and I was trying to look for the actual details. I saw it as a tweet, though, that actually one of the requirements is they are to carry a firearm and be okay with using deadly force when necessary.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, that's not a tax collector. That's a militia. I'm just saying. That's a militia. You say what you want. I'm going to call you a liar.
Yeah. There's a lot here. Let's just kind of, I guess. Yeah, the agency got $80 billion cut of the President Biden's act, the Inflation Reduction Act, which doesn't make any sense. If it's an Inflation Reduction Act, why are you spending more money on an agency that doesn't help that? Which it will use to double its ranks by 2031.
Yeah.
So once again, it's doing a 10-year run.
And again, think about this for the angle of, remember, again, from 1984, George Orwell. Like, that's pretty much what these guys are. These are going to be modern-day brown shirts.
Yep. See, more than half will go on the enforcement-related efforts, which includes hiring special agents, whose agency's job description says, quote, will carry a firearm and be willing to use deadly force if necessary.
Yep. That's exactly what I said.
Now, as a special agent, this is a quote, you will combine your accounting skills with law enforcement skills to investigate financial crimes.
You know who they're going to go against? Anybody want to take a stab at who they're going against?
People like Trump.
Well, not just that.
You and me.
Remember, they just went, the FBI had their little thing leaked about what's considered terrorism. Or
The terrorism.
The tourist people now.
Yeah.
So guess who they're going after?
Those.
Those guys.
Anybody with a sticker.
Anybody like that.
Anybody with a sticker or a flag that says that, yeah.
Right.
You mean the things that we took up the other day.
Yep.
Or you with the Moanabe. Yep.
Yep.
Yep. It goes on to say special agents are duly sworn law enforcement officers who are trained to follow the money.
That's a play on words they don't even realize is there. Anyway.
Jerry Maguire.
No, but I'm thinking more than that.
I know. In addition to carrying guns and badges, investigators of the IRS Criminal Investigation Branch will, who have carried firearms and used special equipment for years, will be outfitted with all the trappings of the police officers. Other investigation equipment at their disposal includes a fleet of surveillance vehicles, radio communication equipment, body armor, electronic surveillance equipment, audio and video equipment. Now, I need to stop here because this doesn't make any sense.
Isn't radio equipment and audio and videos?
Surveillance equipment, radio equipment, AV equipment, electronic surveillance equipment. Those are all the same thing.
Technically. Now, I mean, obviously, we can make the distinction that radio communication, that's between each other.
Yeah, that's back and forth.
The audio and video is for them to record.
Right. Electronic surveillance is electronic surveillance.
It's the same thing as audio.
Surveillance vehicles are what you use with the electronic surveillance. Also, cameras and lenses, night vision equipment.
It'd that be video equipment?
Night vision equipment. Optical equipment.
Yeah.
Like cameras and lenses. And other things of that nation. Funds for confidential informants.
Oh, they're going to start paying snitches.
And something called padded training suits.
Telling you. It's about to begin.
New hires won't be picked on their merits alone, according to the agency. Quote, criminal investigative special units are part of a diverse workforce that mirrors the tax-paying public we serve. Says the IRS, and that's what they're going to vow. So it's going to be equal opportunity, apparently.
No, it's not equal opportunity. It's going to be, hey, we're looking for people who believe what we believe. We're not going to bring in somebody who...
Well, that's equal opportunity. Come on.
No, it's not.
That's equal opportunity.
It's only equal if it actually is equal, but it's not equal.
IRS Commissioner Charles Rettig told the Senate on August 4th in a letter that the agency's massive expansion should not scare the middle class. Quote, these resources are absolutely not increasing the audit scrutiny of small businesses and middle-income Americans.
That's a lie.
As we've been planning, our investment of these enforcement resources is designed around the Department of the Treasury's directive.
The Department
that audit rates will not rise relative to the recent years for households making under $400,000.
Which is a lie because we showed that through the graph and everything yesterday.
That they're going to be raising rates and thus audits will change.
Yeah.
But observers are obviously skeptical. Nonpartisan watchdog Joint Committee on Taxation estimates that as much as 90% of the estimated $200 billion in additional funds to the IRS will collect as a result of beefing up its ranks will come from small business.
Yeah,
even though they've been trashed, and
the IRS is officially being turned into
an enforcement arm. Yeah.
Well, I was going to say not just an enforcement arm. Like this is going to be the mafia.
Mm-hmm.
This is going to be this
is going to be a protection plan.
An elected official is now the mafia.
Mob protection programs.
Right.
You want us to protect you as a government?
And pay what we say to pay. Right.
Yeah, you pay up, or we break your knees.
Right. You'll suddenly disappear. Suddenly you won't have a business. Suddenly you won't be able to work. Suddenly you won't have...
You'll have cement shoes.
Well, they won't be able to technically go that far, but they will destroy your life down to nothing.
Well, they'll bust your kneecaps.
That too. I'm just saying. They're
going to have all the equipment to do it. I mean, they might as well.
That's true.
Right?
Go big or go home. That's right.
That's what you got to do. In related news, Biden's administration is facing onslaughts of online criticism after saying that the his economic plan is actually working despite the year-over-year inflation figures remaining historically high. See, the President Joe Biden addressed the newest inflation numbers on Wednesday, today, at the White House. He said, and I quote, with that included, I want to say a word today about news that came out today relative to the economy. Actually, I just want to say the number. 0.
Is that what you are? A big fat 0?
He continued on saying that today we received news that our economy has 0% inflation in the month of July. 0.
What?
That's a lie. 0%. Here's what that means. While the price of some things go up and went up last month, the price of other things went down by the same amount.
Like what?
It's a great question.
I want to know what has gone down.
The result is 0 inflation last month, but people are still hurting. But 0 inflation last month. What went down?
I want to know what went down.
What price of what went down?
I haven't seen.
And is it something that we normal people get?
Well, I was going to say, I cannot think of anything that the price has gone down.
Unless it's something that is subsidized by the government directly.
Yeah.
I mean, he could say that the gas prices went down because that's what he did. He forced the gas prices to go lower, but it's already back up to $4 here in North Carolina.
Yeah.
It dropped to $3.60, and now it's already back to $4.
Yeah.
Within 3-week span.
I'm really trying to think if anything has actually gone down, and other than that gas, for that
40
little
cent,
bit,
40 cents for gas, and it was only because he decided to release all of our reserves. Now all of them are spent.
I want to know what,
or they're not spent yet, but
what is there?
I don't know.
Think honestly.
There's nothing.
Can't think of anything.
There's nothing that I know of.
Everything has gone up to one aspect or another, and we keep getting stuff about new stuff going up. Cattle, beef is getting ready to go up.
Everything's going up. Everything.
So
the price of everything is going up. What in particular? And I don't know. Maybe the president is getting numbers that we don't see. Maybe he's getting numbers on stuff that we just have no idea about.
Yeah, and it is possible, but at the same time.
But the economic report that he's talking about is the same report that everybody sees.
That's what I was going to say. So, like, if he's seeing numbers that we're not seeing, and he's getting this kind of scrutiny with the situation being the way it is, wouldn't you kind of bring that out and be like, no, see, here's where
proof.
it has.
Yeah.
Let me show you where it's gone down at.
Yeah.
Because at least then it would put people's mind at ease. It's not doing that.
No, because it's a lie.
Well, we know that.
It's a lie of the devil. And but that's the thing. Okay, so he says it's at 0% for the month of July, which would be for his administration. Since he started in the administration, would be the best news that ever came out.
Right. Except
it's false.
Well, that's what I was going to say. How can you have inflation
Everywhere.
Constantly. Virtually since you took office. And there's been no trickle. It's not like it's slowed. It's not like it did whatever. It's been steady the whole time.
The whole deal.
Suddenly, it just stops.
Yeah.
That's not how the economy works. And I don't do maths. And I know that's a load of crap.
Yeah, that's not good.
Something is off there, Chief. And you... Someone's a bit mistaken.
Say it ain't so.
Oh, I will say it so.
But that's the thing. Like, at this point, once again, if you look at it, okay, if you look at all the numbers, the entirety of his presidency up to now, 0% inflation,
Right.
would be
Phenomenal.
not only phenomenal, that would be the most astronomically unreal thing that has happened.
I think that would save. That to me, if it was true, that would guarantee his reelection.
If it was real.
Correct me if I'm wrong. That would guarantee his reelection.
Well, no, only during his election season.
No, but that's what I'm saying. Like that would guarantee well, maybe not. Because if he can get it to do it now, then he could BS this rest of the way through and say, "Oh no, it's this way."
It's all the way through.
Right.
This is how it has been. Oh,
Right.
no, actually, we're doing better. We have negative inflation.
Right.
You know, everything.
Versus recession. Right?
No,
not recession. It's
no.
negative inflation. There's a word for it. Isn't there? I can't remember what it is. I don't care.
Anyway,
It's too late to be.
And here's why I say that. It's because the price of inflation has never been zero.
You don't say.
It's never been zero.
Never been zero, huh?
Mm-hmm. Nope, never been zero.
Never?
You know the year-over-year inflation rate is 4%. That was the average for like 30 plus years.
Really?
4%.
That's incredible. 4%.
Yeah, that means the price of everything goes up by at least 4% every year.
Which is stupid.
Yeah, which means if you have anything in a CD, it doesn't make any money at all. It's actually losing you money.
Yeah, but they don't care.
They just want a safe place to put it, which is fine. You're just losing money slowly.
It's just not worth anything.
You're just losing money slowly. That's all it is.
Losing it slowly.
I mean, it's about as good as putting it in a can and throwing it in the backyard, which is actually safer because then you wouldn't have a digital currency at that point. You'd have physical cash. Mm-hmm. So I'd go with the physical cash and just take a coffee can and throw it all in the back.
At the moment.
Yeah. So anyway, if the rate year to year is 4% on average, and it has been forever.
Right.
Generally speaking, you're not going to see a 0% inflation rate.
No.
Ever.
Not.
Ever. Maybe 1%.
Never.
You could say 1%. Like it's down to 1%, you know.
Yeah.
1% this month, which is astronomical if it ever happened under Joe Biden.
But
it's never happened.
Never.
And it's a lie.
Yeah. But you know what? If it helps him sleep at night.
Like I don't even care about him sleeping at night.
That's the key.
Because he sleeps during the day.
Depends on who's talking.
He sleeps at the podium. What are you talking about?
Depends on who's talking.
He hasn't been awake for 5 years.
Well, he has.
Really?
He has. A couple times.
Okay.
Once or twice.
All right, thank you.
Once or twice. I mean, it's not common. I grant you. But sometimes.
Hey.
You know.
Somewhere over the rainbow.
Somewhere over the rainbow. Bluebirds fly.
Right.
That's all I'm saying.
He's the scarecrow.
I know.
That's what he is.
Florida sheriff has reassured parents that children will be kept safe in the upcoming school year, announcing the deputies of Brevard County will be equipped with rifles and tactical gear to make the schools, quote, hard targets, end quote, for would-be shooters.
Good.
That's what I said. Like, it's about damn time.
Good? Like, why? Good. What took you so long?
Yeah, right. That's my big one. What in the hell took you so long? What were you waiting for? Yeah. You dumbs asses.
Right. Political climate. That's what
I guess. I mean, it would make sense.
Mm-hmm.
In a Facebook post Monday, Brevard County Sheriff Wayne Ivey detailed school safety measures local police stations have taken after the deadly mass shootings at Robb Elementary School in Uvalde, Texas.
Mm-hmm.
Quote, folks, let me be very clear. You're not coming into my school and killing our children. I firmly believe that if you do not meet violence with violence, you will be violently killed. My goal is to avoid ever having to face a threat on one of our campuses by being better prepared, better armed, and better trained than anyone else, especially someone thinking about harming our children or our teachers.
So getting rid of all soft targets by providing support.
Mm-hmm.
That would make it a hard target to attack in such way.
You suddenly remove the...
remove the target away.
Mm-hmm. You no longer have the whole, gun-free zone thing. Because then if you know you're going to a place that there are people with guns,
then you're not going to bring a gun unless you're probably planning on killing yourself.
Well, I was going to say, you're a little less likely to do, bring the stupid, as it were.
Yeah. Less likely to dare to be stupid.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. F around and find out. Ivy announced the school resource deputies at the Brevard County Sheriff's Office will be given new uniforms with a tactical appearance that clearly signifies we mean business when it comes to protecting our children.
Good.
Officers will also be permitted to carry rifles on campus.
Yes.
Changing a policy that Ivy said previously required his deputies to keep their long guns locked in gun safe within their parked patrol cars.
So they're going to have it strapped on their side, on their shoulder.
Over their shoulder, yep.
Yeah, good.
Which is, on the one hand, let's be honest, it does kind of suck. That sucks. Like,
What use is it in a gun safe in the patrol car?
No, and I agree with all that. But I'm saying, like, it sucks that we have to be at this place where kids have to have basically guys patrolling. Because we didn't have that. We didn't have that when our parents were going to school.
But
we didn't have that even before then.
No, once again, though, we talked about this. When our parents went to school, they went to school with a shotgun in their truck.
No, and I know
with
that.
a rifle in their car.
I know.
They were able to go to rifle practice.
I know. I'm just saying.
They had pistol and rifle practice, long and short range.
I know, but I'm saying.
They also taught bow and arrow.
I know.
Which I miss.
I know. Archery is fun too. But no, I'm just saying, like, they didn't have to do that back in the day. And now it's very secure because of whatever reason. I could have a myriad of reasons why I think it is. But anyway, this new style uniform and tactical preparedness gives our team members the advantage and ability to instantly address the threat with the level of force necessary to eliminate the shooter and save the lives of innocent children and teachers, he explained.
Good.
While there will be those that perhaps don't understand this new tactical approach to keeping our kids safe, it is my prayer that this new level of preparedness and immediate ability to address the threat will provide an active shooter prevent an active shooter from ever walking onto one of our campuses and trying to harm our children.
It'll at least be a deterrent.
Right. Which it should be. But, hey.
Yeah. So and then it goes on to talk about the Madison County Madison County schools.
Yeah, which we talked about yesterday.
Yeah.
Being smart and they're got guns.
They're doing the AR-15s inside of their schools.
Yes, which they should have been doing. And
of course, that's going to be locked up, but still, at the same point of time, at least it's there.
Right. So,
it's a step. It's steps.
Baby steps.
Baby steps here. Chaos erupted in the Los Angeles City Council meeting on Tuesday.
There was chaos in LA.
Oh
my goodness.
Yeah, the city council meeting on Tuesday when protesters broke through a security barricade and accosted lawmakers who voted to ban the homeless encampments near schools.
Don't send those homeless people away who are, filthy and diseased and could
possibly do something to our children.
Yeah, drug addicted and everything else. And obviously that's obviously a blanketing statement, but still, the good majority of them are.
Especially in California.
It's called clean it up.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I know this sounds bad, and it's going to sound bad.
I think it's funny.
No, this is going to sound bad. The reason why you clean up the homeless is because having so many homeless people introduces another level of crime into the area.
Really?
Yes. Additional levels of crime in unsafe areas are created when you have more and more homeless people. Now, I'm not saying that the homeless people are the people doing it.
Yeah.
But I am saying that having them in a certain area already dictates that that area is, one, a slum. Nobody wants to live in a slum.
No.
Two, it also says that that area is a high crime area. Why? Because it is.
Because that's what they do.
Because technically, if you are homeless and you are living in the middle of nowhere, then nobody cares. But if you're homeless and you're living out in the streets, or you're living next to a highway, or you're living in a tent next to a road, next to a school,
then eventually your trash, your mess,
will then pile up and it will cause issues. And it'll all culminate into the idea that you are not healthy for the children in that area.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry, but there are ways to help the homeless.
Yes.
And it's not giving them money, and it's not giving them drugs. And it's
No, I would argue like you could give, there could be scholarships for them to
give them scholarships
get into a situation where they can
do work for hire stuff where
Right.
you literally, like, you as individual, like as a government, can say, okay, we're going to go and we're going to do a job fund where we have a whole bunch of people doing haircuts. We got a whole bunch of people, cleaning them up or whatever. Go through the total process of getting them all cleaned, through the process of getting them interviewed.
Yeah, and it doesn't have to be for even a name job. Like, hey,
It just has to be a job.
yeah, you're going to have work experience working in this thing. It'll be accredited to say, you
Whatever. And
Insert-
then allowing them to stay in public housing for a while until they get themselves back under wraps. Now, the reason why you have so many homeless people is because they can make $800 to $1,000 without doing a thing.
Right.
In California.
Right.
That's enough to feed them.
Yeah.
That's enough. That's enough to eat for a month for
Yeah.
one person. And they can do that. They can do that. And then
why work
would they do
when-
anything else?
Yeah. I
When
mean,
they can live like a bum.
it's California. For
Yeah.
the most part, it's
always sunny.
It's always, well, that's in Philadelphia. No. No, but it is. Like, the weather is fairly constant. I mean,
You get a consistent,
to a degree.
Yeah, your range is like 50 degrees to 105.
Yeah, well,
But you're not lower than 50 unless you're in the mountains.
yeah, and depending on where you go, like, you could be a little bit more consistent than that. But my point is, you could just kind of live off the land and then, live off of the situation, and okay,
Whatever.
Why exert yourself when you're getting handed something for free?
Exactly. And so it's a problem. But anyway, 3 police officers were injured and more than 100 people were ordered to disperse the city council chambers during the skirmish between the activists and the police. The Los Angeles Police Department said. One person was arrested for taking a person from lawful custody of the police officers and resisting arrest.
Wow.
Yes. Councilman Paul...
You said, oh, nay, nay.
Yeah. Councilman Paul Krikorian, not Gregorian, Krikorian.
Wow. Bet you he got picked on.
I know. Sorry, dude. Described the protest as an attack that included verbal threats against lawmakers.
You sure it wasn't peaceful?
No, this one wasn't peaceful, apparently.
Well, no, but why? What makes it? Why is this not peaceful? But the whole Black Lives Matter thing was.
It's a good question. The incident occurred when dozens of demonstrators showed up for public comments ahead of the city council vote to ban the homeless encampments within 500 feet of the school. That's not even that far. And the daycare centers. Council members voted 11-3 to approve the ordinance, expanding the law that also prohibits homeless encampments near libraries, freeway overpasses, and other locations.
Basically, any place that's obviously visible inside the city.
Yeah.
Like, you want to hang out in a park, like, away from somebody you want to be, and
Sure, go ahead.
the center medium and
Yeah,
whatever.
whatever, no
That's
problem.
cool. Don't be seen.
Don't be seen. Also in a back alley, that's fine,
Right.
apparently.
But don't be out in the middle of public where common folk go.
Right, because it's public.
Right.
Don't go to Publix.
I don't like Publix.
No?
I've only been in there once. I got a cake. And it was. I was told is like their sheet cake is the greatest thing since sliced bread.
I mean, it's not the greatest thing since sliced
No,
bread.
no,
It's okay.
no. The boys' mom swore up and down it was.
Oh no.
She's like, that's the greatest thing ever, and I'm like,
It was okay.
It wasn't that
I mean,
great.
it was good. It was better than Walmart's.
I don't know. I'm gonna be perfectly honest with you. I don't know if I can agree with that.
Well, maybe you got a bad one.
No,
I
I mean, I don't know if it's better than Walmart. Is what I'm saying.
Oh yeah, you must have gotten a bad one because we've done that too, and it was better than Walmart. Let's put it that way.
It wasn't bad. It wasn't great, but it wasn't bad.
They also have like fresh baked goods, which is amazing. I'm actually all for that. Anyway, we've got so much more, guys. So much more coming up before the beginning of the year, into the beginning of the year.
We
Just
may not have the
keep
patience to
tuned.
wait.
We might not wait. Anyway, bye.
Bye.